Bulabinaka, my name is Litia and I'm from the beautiful island of Laos and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
My name is Casey, I'm from Tabua. We love Today FM in Tabua. Today FM rocks.
My name is Selina, I'm from Tavenga Vengamba. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Pula, my name is Carlo. I love listening to the music in Today FM, in Malak Island. Today FM rock.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In the news tonight, 2 confirmed on board overdue plane. Cairns Geneve warehouse destroyed by afternoon fire. And Tundravu appointed the new chair of the Thai Level Provincial Council.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spate.
Rescue teams are currently searching the Suweni, Navakuru and the Laikoro areas in Lambasa for a Cessna 172 aircraft which failed to report to the Lambasa airport earlier today. This was the scene at Suweni village this afternoon as authorities tried to look for the aircraft that belongs to the Pacific Flying School. Police spokesperson Ana Naisoro has confirmed they received a report around 2 p.m. about the missing plane. Naisoro confirms 2 passengers are on board the flight, which left Nandi Airport at around 7:30 a.m. today. Airports Fiji Limited says it has alerted the Fiji Rescue Coordination Centre, including Navy and the police. Witnesses say the plane was seen this afternoon.
I want to tell because this is the first time for me living here in Suweni village. 46 years. Then I see one plane cross this village. That is the very first thing that we see this afternoon. In between 3:30 to 3:45. That's the time we see the plane rounding in this all this mountain in a very low height.
How many rounds?
He make 2 rounds, and after that he go close to Ndelai Koro side. That is the last time we hear the sound.
We now join Anna Ravulo, who is standing by live. Anna, what is the latest development on the plane that is overdue?
Jackie, it has been a tough afternoon with the aircraft being overdue. Now, a press release from the Pacific Flying School said that the aircraft was under the command of an instructor called Ilyas Atawalu, who was overseeing a training for 2 students. Now, one of the students got off in Lambasa, while the instructor and the remaining student continued their training to Savu-Savu. Now, the intention was to land in Savu-Savu, but apparently the weather was not conducive for the aircraft to land, and they decided to go back to Lambasa. Now, that was the last communication between the aircraft and the AFL tower. The families of the instructor and the 2 students have been updated, and Airports Fiji Limited has also confirmed that the aircraft was overdue when it failed to report to the Lambasa airport at about 12:15 p.m. today. Now, I just spoke to the police and they said they will continue to search with the military for the instructor and the remaining student. Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Anna. 2 adjoining buildings belonging to Cairns Geneve and tissue manufacturers respectively has been destroyed by fire this afternoon. The massive fire ripped through the building in Raiwai Suva at around 2 p.m. and it took more than 35 firefighters to control the blaze from spreading to nearby buildings. Kelly Vadala was at the scene and reports the surrounding areas were engulfed in smoke, disrupting traffic flow as well.
This was the scene at Carpenter Street in Raiwai a little after lunch. People were fleeing the area as it was becoming difficult to breathe due to the heavy smoke.
On our arrival, all of them were out of the building, and only the firefighters ran in, just tried to contain the fire. We had the crews from Walevu Station and 2 crews from Suva Station, that's 5, 10, 15. And also we have to call Nabua to come for standby in Suva for the whole of Walevu, Nosori, and Suva firefighters to attend to this call.
2 eyewitnesses say the fire started at 1:56 p.m. and firefighters arrived at the scene shortly after.
I just saw the workers running out and shouting for help, saying it was a fire. We couldn't see anything because smoke was everywhere.
We were inside, we were walking when the boss for the Cairns Geneve came running. She was a lady, Miss Geneve, running and started yelling, fire, fire. When we came, we saw that the fire was just a small fire. When we went inside, it started to spread out.
Meanwhile, an irate owner Iqbal Janif tried to stop FBC News cameras from filming the fire. It did not stop here, as others with Janif also tried to stop our cameras from covering the blaze. Meanwhile, no one was injured in the incident. The cause of the fire and the cause of damage is not known at this stage. Kalipathala, FBC News.
Police Chief of Operations, Acting DCP Rusiate Tunravu, has been appointed the new chair of the Thai-level Provincial Council. The appointment was exclusively revealed to FBC News after the endorsement by Prime Minister and Minister for Itaukei Affairs Vorengem Bainimarama. Ali Kimbia with the story.
Walking into a new era of service, the appointment of Rusiate Tunravu as the chair of the Thai-level Provincial Council comes with high expectations from the government.
Prime Minister and the Minister for Itaukei Affairs had confirmed this appointment for Minister Rusiate Tunravu to be the new chair with effect from 1st January 2018 to July 2020.
The Itaukei Affairs Ministry has given DCP Tunravu a lead role to spearhead the council towards a more responsive approach. Tunravu says he is honoured with the appointment and is ready to serve his province.
It's mostly on development, bringing in well-being to the members of the province. And I would like to strengthen that, strengthen the role that is stipulated within the law and maintain that.
Tunravu has clarified taking up the role does not mean he is planning to enter into politics.
I will not stand in any political parties. I'm a career police officer. I'm just receiving, accepting this appointment. It's because it is from the government. It is well within the ambit of the law.
The new appointment, which is for 3 years, is effective from January. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
A new seat has been installed in Parliament for the new members of the House post-2018 general election. One extra seat has been added to the current 50-member Parliament following an Electoral Commission decision almost a year ago. Akusita Thale with the details.
This is the newest seat in Parliament, making it a 51-member House.
If there is an increase in the population, which was fixed at 50 seats at certain number of population at the time, and the percentage has increased, therefore one seat is the one that has to be added on to the Parliament to ensure that the right proportion is there.
For the next sitting of the current Parliament, which is due next Monday, the seat will remain empty. The seat will be contested for the first time in the 2018 general election.
The Electoral Commission is abiding by what has been provided for in the Constitution, that 1 year before a general election they must review the population size against the seats, and if there has been a significant increase in population that would justify an extra seat in Parliament, and this will have to be put in place.
There's a ratio of 1 seat in Parliament for every 17,472 citizens. However, the census results from last year shows Fiji's population has grown to 886,416, which is close to 13,000 more than the 2014 population count. Section 54, subsection 2 of the Constitution states that for each general election of parliamentary members after the first general election is held, the Electoral Commission shall at least 1 year before the general election review the composition of Parliament and may, if necessary, increase or decrease the number of parliamentary members. Akusita Thale, FBC News.
Still to come, driving schools under spotlight for not following code of conduct, and 200 white canes arrive for the blind. Stay with us.
Bula, kera mai singatoka, kera ndo talita kana varorong na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Kombinasyon mo sekolah untuk talita na Radio Fiji 1 kena Domoy Viti.
Yang gue ada silil talit, negara ramai na omani, nandunga. Gitu talita jadi yang gitu kena sebalik, nanggutu rongo, barong na Radio Fiji 1 na Domoy Viti.
Na Radio Fiji 1 na Domoy Viti na bonga ni BNN.
The split among some members of the Social Democratic Liberal Party has become even more apparent. SODELPA Vice President Rodona Takalayale says not only is he a valid and registered member of the party, but the issue should have been handled better by the party executives. This follows SODELPA's leader Sitiveni Rambuka publicly questioning the VP's appointment over the payment of a $2 registration fee. Maggie Boyle reports.
SODELPA Vice President today defending his appointment.
Rambuka's doubting my membership of SODELPA based on a $2 subscription fee. I'm very sad and disappointed that he is in his position of leadership and had to say such a thing. He has noted that Ngone Maramambalna Rote Mumu Kepa has paid some money on the confirmation of who those money were for that could have easily handled.
Rodona says as the VP and president of the Rewa constituency, he has written on 3 occasions to the executive to hold a special general meeting to clarify a number of issues. Among them is the MOU with the former PDP members.
What is here, I think, important to note that the FICAC issue on VJ Singh is still there too. Now they've received this appointment. They should come to the SGM. So all we want to do is to clear out everything that the members of SODELPA are asking from all constituencies.
Meanwhile, FBC News spoke to SODELPA spokesperson Andile Baravi, who directed all queries to the party leader. However, numerous calls to the SODELPA party leader Sitiveni Rambuka for a comment on this issue remain unanswered. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
Some driving schools have been found breaching their code of conduct, especially on how they should operate. The Fiji Driving School Association has confirmed some instructors do not complete the required hours of driving and theory courses for learners permit holders. Kelly Vadala reports.
All learners permit holders must complete the mandatory driving course, even though they know how to drive beforehand.
Even some of them, they know how to drive, see? They come to our driving school, they say, no, I know how to drive. But that doesn't allow us to do the wrong things. See, we still have to fill his book, theory classes. We still have to, as now Minister have said, they will look into the 10 hours of their practice to the driving school. It's in the book, but we are not doing it at the moment. Only we are doing our 10 hours theory classes.
Currently, learners holders must complete 8 hours of driving and 8 hours of theory before they can obtain their provisional license from LTA.
We want to build up the new drivers in a manner that they are a role model to our roads and our country. That's what the driving schools are here for.
Transport Minister Praveen Bala says driving schools play an important role in emphasizing road safety to new drivers.
This association plays a very important role in terms of the transportation in the nation building of our country. And I would like to support them because, in other words, they supplement our responsibility. So we will have to definitely work with them, and they likewise, they have to work with us.
The association held its annual general meeting yesterday, where driving schools were warned to hire driving instructors who have permit, as failure to do so will result in a fine of $500. Kelly Badala, FBC News.
The white cane is a means to independence for the blind and the visually impaired. Around 200 children and adults will now be able to move around safely and with confidence after white canes, which were purchased through a grant, were handed to the United Blind Persons of Fiji today. Pranita Prakash reports.
The United Blind Persons says that 200 new white canes will be of great benefit to its members.
These white canes will help them in terms of boosting their confidence to travel around independently, how they are able to locate their location or how they are able to walk around from point A to point B using a white cane. For all those of us who are totally blind, we depend on our white cane. So it's a symbol of independence, how we are able to walk around from point A to point B. So it's like our eyes.
Canes were purchased through a grant from the Australian government's Direct Aid program.
These canes will support the independence, confidence and safety of the blind and visually impaired adults and children across Fiji. It's great to hear that the Walk with Confidence campaign will not only supply those in need with important equipment, it will also connect them with disability services and advocacy.
The United Blind Persons Field Officers will be identifying people who need these canes in various divisions. There are currently 400 people who are blind or visually impaired in the country. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
The Fiji Meteorological Service held a week-long consultation session with representatives from relevant sectors, farmers and fishermen. The consultation was aimed at how the Fiji Met can improve its services and give out better information relating to climatic events. Kritika Kumar reports.
The first ever consultation forum has been hailed a success, as ideas were shared on how well the Fiji Meteorological Services can disseminate information.
The stakeholders have really come out very constructively, as well as they have given up their opinion, the way in which we can improve in terms of availability of information, as well as further simplifying so that it can be understood by a wide range of users.
Met Director Ravin Kumar says the media also plays an important role in their operation.
Media outlets have really come up together to partner with Fiji Met Services to take this information out to the last mile, to the community who needs the information at the most in the remotest lands of Fiji.
The workshop brought together decision makers from climate sensitive sectors.
The workshop also gives the opportunity for greater alignment, greater collaboration, and another important spin-off is the opportunity for partnerships.
The workshop identified appropriate mechanism to improve and sustain the flow of information to different users in Fiji. Kritika Kumar, FBC News.
In sports coming up ahead, Fijians urged to continue supporting the Fiji Sevens online bid. But up next is Rachel with the latest in business.
Thanks, Jackie. Good evening, and coming up in business tonight. Efforts underway to increase Chinese visitor arrivals. And in growing Fiji, rehabilitated bar school reopens. Stay with us.
Moala ranalika, o tikongona taon na Singapore, ando talitaka na wakaronga ng Bull FM, number 2 na seri.
Ya dora subuli kurna bili, iborani batukara hambara binaranga, do talitakina na wakaronga ng Bull FM, number 2 na seri. Bula!
Bula FM, number 2 na seri.
In business tonight, over the years, Fiji and China have strengthened their relationship through trade agreements, bilateral partnership and business investments. However, despite the efforts, the number of tourists entering our shores remained low. Now, both the government and the hoteliers are working to change this. A dip was registered in visitor arrivals from China in the last 2 years.
I think this slight dip is due to the scheduling of Chinese New Year chartered flights, where it falls and when it takes place.
The numbers have not improved between January 2017 and this year, as the number of Chinese tourists reduced by half. The Hoteliers Association is looking at ways to improve this.
Having direct services from the main Chinese cities, and the three that are commonly talked about are, Beijing, Shanghai, and Guangzhou. And Rosie Holidays does a top job in many countries before the scheduled services start.
The government and the association are optimistic the numbers can improve.
From all the indications, the Chinese market is one that will continue to grow. There'll be continued interest or increasingly by Chinese visitors in Fiji, and the industry needs to be China ready.
A lot of countries are now looking for the Chinese visitor because they have the greatest spending power, and that's the value to the tourism industry is what people bring in terms of foreign exchange as well, and it creates jobs and investment and things like that.
As for the overall performance of the industry last year, a 6.4% increase was recorded in visitor arrivals. Rachel Na, FBC News. And we now join Sanifa from HFC Bank with the latest from the stock market.
Thank you. Let's review the South Pacific Stock Exchange market for last week. 6 listed securities recorded market activity on the electronic trading platform. Looking at the share price movements, FMF shares increased by 1.67% to end the week at a new all-time high price of $1.22. RB Patel Group shares increased by 0.93%, ending the week at $4.34. Fiji Television Limited shares rose by 0.47% to close the week at $2.15. And Vision Investment Limited shares had a further growth of 3.65% and ended the week at $3.12. Following the share price movements, the overall market capitalization concluded at $1.98 billion. That's an increase of 0.80%. And that's the wrap from our local stock market, Vinaka.
Thanks, Anifa. Looking at today's current exchange rate set this morning for the Fijian dollar. The foreign exchange market saw the Fiji dollar on the rise against the Kiwi dollar, the euro and the yen, with some minor slippage against the other currencies we cover. And taking a look at the commodities market for today, oil prices were up at $63.52 a barrel. Gold dropped to close at $1,330 an ounce, and silver followed suit, closing at $16.53 an ounce. And in Growing Fiji tonight, the Vunisama-Loa Sangam School in Ba that was damaged during Tropical Cyclone Winston reopened following rehabilitations. Opening the refurbished school, Australian Assistant Vocational Education Minister Karen Andrews commended the government for building back better infrastructure that can withstand natural disasters. Meanwhile, the Latoka Adara School Telecentre was also opened today by the New Zealand Ethnic Communities Minister Jenny Selesa. Selesa says the centre will provide great opportunities to students.
So I congratulate you on all the work that you have done to rebuild your school so that you can provide the education that's needed to the children in this area.
ICT connectivity and access use here in the Pacific, and to ensure that ICT access is inclusive.
And that's it from Business this evening. Now to sports. Here's Jamie with the latest.
Thank you, Rachel, and good evening. Up ahead in sports, Batinisavu Uluyata joins Fiji Sevens team in Vegas, and Kevin Naigama still not satisfied with FNRL. Details coming up.
मैं प्रेमिला वायरुकु रेकी रेकी से सुबह मेरी आँख खुलती है तो मैं मिर्ची एफएम सुनती हूँ। मिर्ची एफएम इज नंबर 1। इट्स सो हॉट।
हम लोग बार टाउन के कैरियर ड्राइवर लोगों ने हम लोग के मिर्ची एफएम सुनो अच्छा लगे। मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट। हाय, मैं संध्या नारियल रेकी से मेरे सारे दोस्त मिर्ची एफएम सुनते हैं। मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट। आई लव मिर्ची एफएम।
हमें स्पिन तो ताबुआ के मिर्ची एफएम में सबसे अच्छा गाना बजे।
मिर्ची एफएम इट्स हॉट।
Fiji Airways men's sevens winger Batinisavu Uluyata left for the USA last night to join the national team in Las Vegas. Meanwhile, Fiji Rugby Union Chief Executive John O'Connor says Army winger Alessio Nanduba is yet to receive his US visa. He adds Fiji Sevens coach Gareth Baber drafted Uluyata as standby if Nanduba does not get his visa in time. Meanwhile, coach Gareth Baber will use a scrimmage session against Spain this week to round up his